Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Out Destruction Tour. I am your host, E.G. Lately, and we got the Sunday drivers getting ready to burn it down for you guys. But before we do that, let's take a look at the point standings for last Sunday, which is week 7. In first place, Avenger with 146 points. It doesn't seem like anybody can catch him at this point. In second place, Amos Moses, the rookie, the star sensation, 128 points. In third place, Time Flies Helton, the veteran, has been making an absolute push towards the end of the season with 122. I'm in fourth place with Bigfoot, 116 points. I'm feeling pretty good for my rookie season. Rob Ryan with 106 points in fifth. Thomas in Wolf's Head with 101 points. Engine 85 with 100 points. Chillin Villain with 100 points as well. They are tied for seventh, which is interesting because only the top 7 drivers get an invite to World Finals. The rest have to compete in LCQ. And then, of course, in 9th place, Gravedigger Legend started off strong this season, but he's got time to make up. And then Gravedigger in 10th place with 88 points, driven by Chicken. So this is the racing final that took place tonight before we get into our freestyle matchup. And no surprise here, Avenger and Time Flies again getting all the way to the finals. Those guys just have their trucks dialed in. This was a race that had very important consequences, specifically for Time Flies, as he's trying to chase Phoenix in points. So he needed a big win here. Could he do it? Well, both drivers started off this race very well. These are the types of races you love to see. Both drivers giving it them all, both really wanting to win. Phoenix at this point looking for bragging rights, but you see right here, Time Flies gets himself in trouble on that turn, and that's all Phoenix needed to seal the deal and pick up another racing win this season. It's beginning to look more and more like Phoenix is going to be your Sunday Tour points champion this season, as he has such a commanding lead and he just continues to add to that lead. But there are still plenty of battles to be had, so let's get ready for some all-out destruction tour.
Destruction! Are you talking guys with a sucking blade? Run destruction! Engines roar, skies ignite, metal beasts in endless fight, tires crush the earth, fuel-fed chaos giving birth, madness reigns, no retreat, feel the thunder, feel the heat, through the flames we rise, monsters in the sky.
So you saw the results of racing, so let's get ready for some all-out destruction tour freestyle as we take a look at the guy who's been an absolute pain in my butt when it comes to racing, Curly in Wildflower. A guy who hasn't been at a lot of events but he did make the track for World Finals, and he did a great job on it. And he's a very talented driver, a really good racer, which is why I keep getting annoyed that I keep getting matched up with him in round number 1 of racing. As you see there, Curly just kind of throwing around that racehorse. He's typically used to driving CRD, which is the most popular chassis for these Beam monsters, but the racehorse chassis has been the more popular one used by drivers this season in All Out Destruction Tour. Remember, we opted to eliminate the CRD this season and give people an opportunity to drive these older chassis and see what is what. And right now, the racehorse chassis absolutely has found its way to being the favorite among drivers. And you can see why there, even though if anybody can figure out a way to break it, it's Curly. And it looks like he's going to stop his truck there. I guess he's being told whether or not he can continue driving. So let's see if he fires back up. And yes, indeed, he does fire that truck back up and just runs over that tire. He says, I don't need any more tires. I can do it with 3. Throwing out a 3-wheel donut as he crosses over the minute mark. Again, Curly, a very good racer. Hasn't really got a chance to sink his teeth into this racehorse chassis. As I said, he drives a different chassis, typically in UML, another league that I run in, where I run my favorite truck, USA 1, which is going to be the truck you guys are going to see me in for the rest of my monster truck career, because the USA 1 truck is my dear love, my home away from home, as Curly is getting himself in all sorts of trouble, and he's able to figure out a way to save himself from going over, and I guess you could call that somewhat of a sidewall, and I think that's probably going to wrap it up for Curly. Unfortunately, he did get in the bonus time, but not enough to get himself into them higher score margins. Again, early breakage can really wreck your run. As we get ready for our next competitor, Thomas from Staunton, Virginia in Wolf's Head. Now, Thomas has struggled in racing this season, but let me tell you, this guy knows how to absolutely burn it down for freestyle, and I think that you guys are going to see that right here. As you can see, he's preparing something to start this run off, and there's a nice big air for Thomas in Wolf's Head, starting that clock into a donut. Again, Thomas, one of them drivers that can be very dangerous if you don't take him seriously. Not to mention, he's gotten what I believe were some freestyle wins that he was robbed of earlier in the season, but you know, unfortunately for him with his work schedule, he's got to go early, which can hurt you in the points instead of going later. But listen, man, I totally understand. We all work real jobs. This is something we do for fun. We share it with you guys because we care, and we know that you guys love monster trucks as much as we do, and we're trying to bring you back that old style feeling where monster trucks were edgy, they were fun. It was like about getting around with your friends and watching these trucks do incredible things. Not to take away from Monster Jam, but you know, there's an adult audience out there that I think is being underserved, and since I don't got the money to make my own league with real monster trucks, this is the best I can do. So I hope that you guys have been enjoying these videos so far. We plan on doing this more in the future. As you see Thomas throw out a big backflip 180. I've never seen anything like that. And as I said, Thomas is just one of them drivers who is so darn comfortable in freestyle. I can't remember a time this season where he hasn't scored high. When I think about it, he just is consistently scoring high, putting down good runs, always starting us off with setting the bar really high. Throwing on that same song, doing that Wolfhead's team proud. Wolf's Head does have racing wins on Saturday, but we haven't seen that driver back, unfortunately. And that's one thing that we do look for in drivers. So if you're thinking about trying to run for AODT, don't come if you're going to just do one event and leave. You need to dedicate yourself to being here for the full season, or else you're depriving the fans of those rivalries. As Wolf's Head going to get an 8.4, well-deserved score for Wolf's Head as he just tosses that truck and finishes her off. So that's your new points leader. Wolf's Head 8.4. That's going to be a tough one to beat as he absolutely threw it down. Now this is an interesting case because Electric Sins in Gravedigger Legend started off this season. Electric Sins from Houston, Texas, started off this season at the top of the scoring bracket. Unfortunately, due to some IRL issues, he had to miss a bunch of events. So now he's got to play catch up and throw down a huge run here as he throws a tire off at the beginning of the run. That's not good. But I think they're still going to let him run. And that's what we love to see. And he's not going to let the fact that he's missing that front tire hurt him at all. But you can see that it does throw the truck in some weird directions when you miss that front tire. But Electric Sin's doing the best he can to nurse that truck along as he gets himself in a little bit of trouble. That time, the wheel being off actually probably helped him because it less resistance to stop that truck's roll. So again, Sin's just working with what he's got at this point. Breaking your truck this early into a run is really hard to recover from. But Sin's doing the best he can as he's in big time trouble now. Oh my God, he somehow is able to flip that thing in reverse and pull it back down on all three tires. I don't know how he was done that. Perhaps one of the save of the years. Oh no, but he's right back in trouble again. Sin's just doing whatever he can with this truck at this point, as that's gonna lift the last tire and that's gonna cause the end of the run for Sins. Unfortunately for him, he broke early. 7.63, that's not gonna be enough for first place, but an admirable run for Electric Sins. As we get ready to move on to our next driver. And that's going to be Little Do and Amos Moses, the rookie sensation who's found himself in second place. Little Do out of Newport, North Carolina. His family owns a track down there called Little Do Racing. So make sure you guys go check him out and his mud track if you're down in the North Carolina area. As he gets some big air to start his run off. Little has been one of the guys that has really taken to these trucks and just seems to know exactly what he's doing. This is his real life mud truck. He turned it into a monster truck and is putting on a show for y'all right now. Also, just so you know, while these events are pre-recorded right now and I'm doing the announcing for it, we do present these live on my YouTube channel. It's without commentary, but Little Do on his TikTok, Little Do Racing, he will walk you through and announce the whole thing as it's happening. And then you can come back over here later and check out the YouTube video with the nice editing and all that I put into them. If you think it's nice, I think it's nice. Little Do throws out a big backflip there. He's just out here having a good time tonight. He knows he probably has enough points to get himself into the World Finals. So he's really just kind of chasing the leaders at this point. But anytime you go out there, you want to win. You want to do something that's going to impress people as he lands hard on the back of that truck. Not enough for a shutdown, though. It looks like they're kind of letting people run who land on their tail, and I think that's a good idea. As he throws out another huge backflip. Little Do trying to eye up his next move, and it's just an oh no, he tried to throw a backflip out off of the jump and came down hard on top of the chassis. That's going to end his run early. 7.86, even though he was cooking it up until that point. But you know, Little likes to go big, and I don't blame him for that. As we get ready for our next driver to come on out, here he is, Chillin Villain, the rookie, driving another PEI chassis by PEI brethren out of Fresno, California. Chillin Villain has been one of those quiet monsters out there this season where you never know what version you're going to get. Are you going to get the reckless one that destroys his truck early, or is he going to lay down an absolute burner of a run? And that's kind of the fun of watching him race. And, you know, as someone who drives the PEI, as he throws out a really nice nose wheelie into a pogo, look at Chillin Villain go. Cryo really working hard, showing off how much he's improved in that truck since the beginning of the season. This guy practices like nobody's business, and as long as he, oh man, what was that? Throwing out a huge barrel roll. That's something only you can do in a PEI because of how short the wheelbase is. It's very reminiscent of the trucks that you saw running in the 90s and early 2000s. That short wheelbase that was good for drag racing. Sometimes it can hinder your turning, but we've been having a lot of fun racing it this season as kind of an homage to Dan Patrick, PEI standing for Dan Patrick Industries, who also started with Bigfoot and ended up branching off into his own company, now makes chassis for Monster Jam and all types of other independent teams. So far, a nice solid run by Chillin Villain, throwing out a donut there. Looks like he's going to go for a reverse backflip, and he's going to land that perfectly into a wheelie. Look at Chillin Villain go. Cryo Wolf, as a driver, has been one of, in my opinion, the most improved drivers this season. As I know, because when he first came around, I would win almost every race we have. Now he is beating me. I guess that's not saying much considering my win-loss record this season, but I swear, guys, I get some bad matchups. But we're not going to talk about that right now, as Chillin Villain is just making that truck purr and dance and do all kinds of crazy things, as he might have just destroyed that whole thing right there. And I think that's going to wrap up his run with 3 seconds left on the clock. Chillin Villain with an 8.36. It's not enough to take first place, but now he's sitting comfortably in second. So nice run for Chillin Villain. But now you know that music, so it can only mean one thing. It's Gravedigger, driven by Chicken out of Flint, Michigan. But tonight, it's actually being driven by D Wheeler from the Saturday tour, because Chicken couldn't be here. So let's see if D Wheeler can help Chicken get a World Finals berth. Now, to be fair to D Wheeler, he's not used to driving Gravedigger. This is a very foreign truck, even though it's on the same chassis, as he's going to end up getting himself in trouble. Go, no! It's going to be a DNF for D Wheeler, and Chicken's hopes and dreams smashed tonight, as he's going to get a DNF, unfortunately. Tough break for D Wheeler, but I know he'll come back on Saturday and get things done in his Carolina Crusher. But coming up next, we got maximum destruction from one legendary truck to the next. It's Max D, driven by Beamng.drive out of the Northeast. Now, I run with Beamng in UML and in AODT, and I gotta tell you, this guy's incredibly confident. Almost sometimes to the point where, you know, it can come off a little much. But you know what? You gotta appreciate a guy who's confident and wants to get out there and just light it up. And that's exactly what Beamng does. He goes out there and lights it up as he gets a little in trouble. But that Willman chassis says, I can handle sidewall hits. That's no problem for me. Unlike the PEIs, they will shed wheels like buttons on a t-shirt. As Beamng.drive is just coming out here and just doing that Tom Mentz thing, which is just keeping the energy high, trying to hit as many obstacles as you can, although he just shattered the front forelink there with that hit. Now that's unfortunate because, you know, these cars that Beam has can sometimes break pieces off of your truck, even if you don't hit them that hard. It's just one of them things that's a risk that comes along with using Beam, as you saw right there, a bit of desync. Unfortunately, that's all we have to work with. Especially on these tracks, we can't go in there and just manually take these cars out. So you just got to hope that when you get over them, that the cars don't rip apart your truck like you're seeing happen to Beamng.303 right in front of us in Max D. But, you know, this guy is not giving up, you know. As he said in the pits, his time management, he takes it very seriously. So right now, he's just trying to throw out as much energy as he can. Can he get into bonus time with that truck so beaten up? It's looking like he's going to, as he does cross into bonus time here. Whipping that truck every which way. I don't even know how that truck is still running. That's just a testament to the Willman chassis and why it's such a favorite among drivers. That truck has taken so much abuse and is still going strong, as Beamng is going to figure out a way to fill the clock here. Coming up on 5 seconds. Impressive run by Beamng with 33, but is it enough to take first place? He did break early. 8.26, that's going to be enough for third place. Max D coming out and getting things done. That's going to put him in a better spot points-wise tonight. But coming to the stage next, that's me in Bigfoot. Let's go, guys. This week, I elected to go for Bigfoot 8. There I am, that handsome guy out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the bottom left-hand corner. Check me out on YouTube. That's why I run my YouTube flags. I have a main channel called EG Lately, where I do documentaries and all types of different things. So if you're enjoying these monster truck shows, go check me out on my main channel, where I also talk about some monster truck stuff, specifically stuff that happened on TNT Tough Tracks. I rock the same song, typically Sum 41's over my head, because that's exactly how I feel when I'm in these races. But Bigfoot 8, probably my favorite Bigfoot of all time. It's the truck that modernized the sport with the revolutionary shock design that Kramer and Chandler all came up with, driven by Andy Brass, driven by Dan Runte, so many famous guys. As I get myself in trouble there, I'm able to save that one. Nice save. I mean, I'm complimenting myself, but, you know, I got to do my thing and kind of just talk about what I was doing when I was in here. And I think that for me, it was important to try to keep the energy up, which I definitely need work on. But this track was a lot of fun, this freestyle track. There's a lot of space to get around, a lot of fun obstacles to hit. Highly recommend. As I throw out another backflip in that Bigfoot, and she's holding strong. Unfortunately, you know, when you run the CRC suspension on the PEI, sometimes you can break it very easily, especially on those cars there. So I got to make sure I don't do that. So now I'm backing up, getting ready for something. There I am in the bonus time. Up over the cars. I was lucky not to get snagged on it and lose anything. And here I am with another backflip on a different ramp. And there I go, reverse bicycle into another front flip. I gotta admit, I'm almost impressing myself. To be honest, in this position I'm in, it's kind of weird announcing yourself. I say it every time I do it, but, you know, I just do the best I can. As I fill clock there, probably my best freestyle run of the season. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to what the judges think as I throw out a little extracurricular activities for fun there. 8.23, the highest score I've gotten all season in AODT. I got to tell you, it feels great and makes me happy to do it in Bigfoot 8. As we move on to our next competitor, Helton in Time Flies. As I said during racing, Helton started off the season pretty shaky. He even missed an event and has somehow managed to battle his way all the way back up into third place. And who knows, maybe by the end of this event, he'll be in second place because he did get to the racing final, which he could have won if he didn't crash. But again, you're up against Phoenix, who has been dominating this season on the Sunday Tour, which while we don't have like the superstars like Sweats, who's only lost twice all season, we do have a wide range of very, very competitive people on the Sunday Tour. And that's why I think it's been so fun to be a part of this particular tour, because there's so many good drivers over here that are so dangerous. I cannot wait for World Finals so we can finally see which tour has the better driver, Saturday or Sunday. Anybody can take it home, but Sweats is the man to beat right now when it comes to racing. Freestyle, I mean, the most freestyle wins has been Nexus and Phoenix. But Helton looking to pick up his first freestyle win here tonight. He's throwing out a lot of real nice stuff. Just staying active with that Time Flies truck. Haven't seen anything that would make me go wow though yet. So maybe he's holding it out as he's getting ready to cross into bonus time here. A lot of guys will make sure they fill the clock and then throw out some big tricks. Helton hitting the cars, coming down on his last 20 seconds now. What's he got? Anything big. He needs a big move if he wants to win. And there it is, the double backflip. He uses the wheels coming down forward and then guns the throttle and is able to rip that truck around for another one. 8.43, your new leader, Helton in Time Flies. And that was a huge trick. And sometimes that's all you need is that one trick that really makes the judges go, a goddamn. Speaking of a goddamn, we got Kazriv out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, the Rod Ryan Show. My Pennsylvania brother, along with Lurch and Engine 85. A lot of Pennsylvania guys on this Sunday tour. I'm happy to see it as he's driving the Rod Ryan truck. Lurch, a Pittsburgh native. I'm a Philadelphia native. Kazriv, Johnstown native. I'm not familiar where Johnstown is in PA. PA is a pretty big state. As Rod Ryan needs to have something good happen here. And oh no, can he keep it going long enough to get into bonus time? No, oh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. Did he get a score or did he get a DNF? They're going to give him a score of 5 because he was able to keep that truck going long enough to pass the 30-second mark. Impressive strategy for Rod Ryan show to make sure he got points. Now here's our next Pennsylvania guy. That is Lurch Engine 85. Lurch has been a bit of a journeyman this season as his passion is undeniable. Again, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So we went from Philly to Johnstown to Pennsylvania. We did 3 Pennsylvania people in a row. That's actually surprising. I didn't notice that during the show, but I'm pointing it out now because I'm watching all this take place and announcing it live as I watch it. That's how I do these videos, guys. You know, sometimes I'll redo a take or two, but for the most part, you're getting my genuine reactions to these races and these jumps because I do streaming in my free time. So check out EG Lately Live, which is my streaming channel. And Lurch needs to have a big run. Lurch has been hit with a lot of real bad luck this season. Some of it in regards to getting called into work during events. That's right, we're not professional monster truck drivers. We're just people like you who just really love this stuff and we want to be competitive. As Lurch throws out a really nice backflip, lands hard on the back. And he's going to need one of those tires to catch, and he does. Big safe. Oh, Lurch fighting hard to get that truck back over. And he does. Against all odds, Lurch, they shut him off to make sure he's okay, but man, was he close to getting stuck on his roof right there. So it looks like he's going to get a chance to refire and finish his run as we will restart the clock once he hits a jump. And there it goes. The clock has started again for Lurch. Getting big air in that big, beautiful fire truck. Or as the kids call it, a fire truck. And there's a nice wheelie. Lurch throwing it around pretty well as he hits these cars here. He's going to take his time because you don't want to get himself rolled over. But now he's getting ready to cross into bonus time. Now, bonus time is where you really push these trucks to the limits. That's where you're going to mostly see these trucks do the biggest tricks possible. As he throws out a nice bicycle there, cross the entire into another bicycle and into the wall. No, that's going to be enough for Lurch. They shut him down with a 7.66. So while Lurch did have some big tricks, he didn't fill the clock completely, but being our last driver, he did not let us down with showing us a wonderful time. So your freestyle winner tonight is Time Flies, driven by Helton. Big win for him. So that moves him up to second place now, dropping Amos Moses down to third. Avenger still in first place. I think he's going to stay there for the rest of the season if I had to guess. There I am in fourth place. Bigfoot, 134 points. The top 4 guys, there's a bit of a gap between the top 4 and the 5th. Now, even though Helton missed an event, he's been so strong that he's been able to get that points that he lost on that missed event back and is now sitting pretty in second place. It is hard to do that. So I think the top 4 are looking pretty safe. Right behind them, Wolf's Head Thomas had a great freestyle tonight, 121 points. Rod Ryan struggles continue with 120. Chillin Villain also had a better freestyle run tonight, 120 points. He moves up from 8th to 7th, putting him in World Finals qualifying position. Gravedigger the Legend in 9th place with 110 points, and Chicken in Gravedigger 102. So while D-Wheeler did have struggles tonight, he was able to get Gravedigger and Chicken crucial points that he needs. I'm telling you what, guys, 7th and down, those are the people who are going to be fighting tooth and nail to get an opportunity in last chance qualifying. And there are some absolute snipers in there as drivers. But this is where it gets crazy, guys. We have just 2 events left in the AODT season before World Finals. So don't go anywhere. Make sure you guys tune in every week to see who is going to make World Finals, and more importantly, who will be our World Finals Racing Champion and our World Finals Freestyle Champion. They fought to be a part of the dance, but can they finish? For the All Out Destruction Tour, my name is EG Lately. It was an honor being your host here tonight, and I will see you guys. Make sure you hit those bell notifications and subscribe so that you don't miss any of the action, because if you thought it was good up until this point, you haven't seen anything yet.